One more thing I could do here to improve the shape of my paragraphs, and that's use the story option, which is this little picture of a story right here. If you don't see that right away, you can go to the type pull down and find story. And what story does is give us optical margin alignment. I'm going to set my optical margin alignment. I'll turn it on and set it for my 10-point body copy. And that will improve the appearance of the sides of the column by allowing things that don't have much visual weight to actually poke out of the column slightly, such as these hyphens hang out a little bit. Numbered paragraphs work roughly the same way. Here are my numbered paragraphs, or paragraphs to be numbered. And I can just turn this on as automatic numbering here, but it doesn't give me really the results that I want. I still have to modify that, and actually I need a paragraph style for that so that they're all the same. I'll just do one of these as a new paragraph style. Numbered paragraph. Here under bullets and numbering, I'm okay with the format. I don't need to use Roman numerals or letters or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4 is fine. Character style, I like those bold. I might not. I think I'll leave them. Indents. Well, the indent is supposed to be 2 M's. 2 M's in 10-point type is not 2 picas. 2 M's in 10-point type is 20 points. So the left indent should be 20 points. 20 points is 1 pica and 8 points. 12 points to a pica, 12 and 8 is 20. So this needs to actually be 1 pica 8 for 20 points. And then the first line indent should be a minus 10 points. And when you do this, make sure that you do minus 10 PT or minus P10, because if you just do minus 10, it reads as minus 10 picas, which obviously isn't going to work. So minus 10 PT. Tab position, we're not doing any tabs, so I really don't have to worry about what the tabs are, but we'll say 1P8 for a tab position, should I need one. I'm pretty sure all the years I've been doing this layout, I've never needed one. I'll say okay, see how that looks. Well, we don't know because I didn't apply it yet. So it'd be something like that. Now, that uses the same, oops, that's the wrong one. Numbered paragraph, there you go, numbered paragraph. So we have the indent. What I don't have is the bold call out. To do that, I'm going to insert that end space that was specified. You can find spaces in the type pull down under insert white space, and there's a bunch of spaces. And notice the end space is Control Shift or Command on the Mac, Command Shift N. Do that down here for deductible. Replace that space with Command Shift N. After increases, Command Shift N. And now that I have a marker of some kind, I can add something to my paragraph style. I can add a nested style, which is new nested style. And I've actually got a style made for this. It's called W. Castlin Bold, the same as I used for the call out subheads. Through what, 1 word? Well, no, I've got 2 words for value increases, so I can do it through the first end space. And let's see how that looks. Well, it looks okay, so I'll say okay. So if I select these 2 and apply numbered paragraph to it, they should look like they're supposed to, but look, every one is 1. How do we get around that? Let's go back to our paragraph style. Numbering, where it says start at, change that to continue from the previous number. Now the first one has no previous number, so it starts at 1. The others are 2 and 3. So that's pretty good. Now there's some edits that need to be done that I didn't do. I have dynamic spelling turned on. I can do a spelling check, but I just keep dynamic spelling turned on when I'm working in type because I can immediately find stuff like this, this. Well, the text is indicated this way with the umlaut over the second E, so I'll just leave that. You've grown. That seems to be a grammatical error because there's a stop here, so this should be a capital. You've grown accustomed to. But actually, if you read this in context, along with comfort is a sentence fragment. So it's not a capital Y, it's that the stop should have been changed from a full stop to a comma. This should be the word are. Occasion, the I goes on the other side. There may be something in here that is grammatically incorrect because letters are transposed in a word, but it's still a word that the spell checker won't check. So you will have to actually read this to make sure there's no other errors in here. I do recall I'm supposed to change luxury car. Down at the bottom, this should all be semi-bold. Well, it should be, actually should all be bold except for the center line is semi-bold. My Command Shift B works on that. No, it doesn't. So center line, semi-bold. And that takes care of the type. We need a picture, Command D. Insert or drop in car4.psd. Don't have the text frame selected when you do that, or it ends up in the text frame. This already has an alpha channel that masks out the background, and this needs to be the width of the ad. So I'm going to Command Shift, grab on a corner handle and pull this and adjust it until the image exactly matches the width of the ad, which is about there. And then I can, just to tidy things up, bring the image frame edges into the page. Okay, you may recall in the instructions, the gray frame should end behind the car. So if I pull it up to about here, and I have white below the car, all I need now is the logo. How do you do the logo? I'm gonna go over here in an empty space, drag a text frame and type capital T ampersand S. And actually, I want to make sure that there is no style applied to that. I don't want a style, just go basic, okay. This will be Adobe Caslin Pro, bold. This is bold italic. It's mostly 48 point, but the ampersand should be 36 point. I have to bring this closer together so it looks like a logo. I'm going to insert my cursor between the T and the S, and in the kerning value window here, this one is kerning. I'm going to kern it a lot. I'm going to kern it until the ampersand actually touches the beak of the serif of the T. And on this side, I'm going to bring it in until it just kind of just kisses. Okay, so that's part of the logo. And then below that, it needs to say motors. Motors should be in 20 point. 20 point Adobe Caslin bold. Small caps. So I'm going to type motors. Let's get a return in there. In lowercase, because the way the small cap works is that it's for, sometimes you want things that are set in caps and small caps. So you would type normal upper and lower case and then apply small caps to it. And the lowercase letters become small caps, the capitals remain capitals. This one, we just want motors to be all in small caps. I'm going to Command-Shift-C, center all of this. I'm going to use optical kerning for this. That'll help a little bit. But I'm also going to track it looser until it looks reasonably like visually aligns with the T and the S, somewhere around there perhaps. And then I might just reduce the lead a little more, get a little closer to motors. Okay, so that's the logo. In case I don't like that, I'll make a copy of that. And Command-Shift-O, I need to make it into an object. A logo shouldn't be type that you can edit. It should stay a logo so that you can scale it without worrying about what happens to letter spacing or things like that. And it should be white or paper colored or reverse out. It goes down here. It needs to be the height of those 3 lines of type. So I'll align it to the baseline of the phone number. Shift to constrain and scale this down to where it's the height of the top line of type. Bring it over here to the margin and then apply a text wrap. Text wrap, probably just on one side, an offset of, I don't know, maybe like 4, 5, 6 points, so it doesn't, 4 points, so it doesn't run into the type. And the one last thing that I didn't do is that you recall Auto Aircraft Financing, Leasing and Brokers, Inc. should be 16 points from the line above. So for this paragraph, I'm going to add in the paragraph control panel 3 more points above it. And then move the logo down to line up with the baseline of the phone number. 13 and 3 points above it. And now it looks like my car's a little close, so I can probably move my car just a little bit farther down here. I get the tire touching on the margin. One last thing I'd like to do, because large type, display types such as you find in headlines, inconsistent spacing is more noticeable, and that is to select the headline and change it from metrics kerning to optical kerning. And you saw a little shift there of all the letters. I'd also like to tighten up the word spacing in the headline. Command-Shift-J, justification settings. And because this is centered, the only thing that matters is the desired value. But to have a smaller desired value, I have to reduce the word spacing value first. I'm going to drop that to 65% to make a desired value of 75%. And the other values don't really matter. I'd also like to change the letter spacing, and I'll drop it -50 minimum just to give me some latitude, because again, only the desired value matters in anything other than justified alignments. I'll set it for a desired value of, let's try -15 and see how that looks. I think I'm okay with that. Maybe that's too much. Maybe the -10. And what I'm doing here is hitting the tab key to get off of that window, and that allows it to accept that setting. And I kind of like that. It sort of made a ligature out of my T and H, but that looks pretty good. I think I might manually kern the YO combination a little more, because this seems more obvious in a large size like that. And that's it. The ad is done, and everything is set up in an organized fashion. Everything tightly fits together. We have contrast, repetition, and alignment, and proximity. Proximity in that the logo and the rest of the signature are set slightly apart from the paragraph text. The paragraph text, of course, is obviously separate from the headline. The headline's close together, so it doesn't seem to be wandering apart. And in paragraph styles, I have a style for my numbered paragraphs. I have a style for my drop cap text. And if I look at character styles, in creating this, I created a verse-out style, the drop cap, and Adobe Castle and Bold style that I repetition I use for the callouts for the numbered text, and also for the callouts for the subhead or first line of each paragraph. And that's it. That's the project 4.